Hi everyone, I'm Terry Thompson.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Tacky.
And before I start talking about the book that Lindsay and I read, I just kind of want you to take a moment and see if you share this memory with me. When you were a young kid, I mean like little, like maybe kindergarten, first grade, did you ever have dreams of making it rich on your street corner, selling lemonade, or maybe planning some awesome garage sale where you could sell all the crap in your house and make a ton of cash? I know I certainly did when I was little. And the idea of just making that money, even though it may have amounted to about 75 cents, maybe a couple bucks if I was lucky, that just somehow just filled my heart with joy. And I think hopefully some of you watching this will have that same memory. And I suppose as a kid, it's hard to really compute what the end game is in a situation like that. I think when you're little, like for me at least, since I am a sweet tooth and I love candy, the idea of being able to go out, sell lemonade, make money, go to the store, have candy, that was like hugely rewarding to me, the idea of that. And I loved doing it. But of course, that victory seemed to always be short-lived, because then there'd be the cleanup, and then of course you'd eat your candy, and then maybe you forgot the whole process. Well, not unlike that, the book Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh, subtitle is A Path to Profits, Passion, and Purpose, is a book written by the CEO of Zappos.com. And similar to my memories of wanting to make it rich on my street corner, Tony Hsieh, before he became a billionaire, also had that same drive when he was younger, but he probably just knew how to take it to the next level beyond, the $2.50 that I was hoping to make at the time. This book, not to make it sound like a book report, but this book is truly a pretty easy read, and it's a great recollection of a successful person's, what's the word, of a successful person's rise to achievement, success, fame, and joy. And granted, part of that success involved chasing the money, like maybe you did as a kid. But then along in the journey itself, it really starts to transition into understanding something a little deeper that happens to a person when they've achieved that goal of financial security and demonstrated success, that there's a transition into something a little more meaningful and a little more deep. And in this book, there's a great exploration of finding a higher purpose and meaning and creating a vision for yourself. And in your journey to chase down that vision, the money actually chases you. And so really, in a nutshell, if you could imagine a world where money was no object and there was nothing left to gain, what would you, in your heart of hearts, truly seek to accomplish? What is left to be done? And it's really quite a beautiful story of figuring that out. Granted, it's kind of easy to do maybe when you do make your first couple $100 million, to realize that money truly isn't everything. And in the case of Tony Hsieh, who's the CEO of Zappos, he definitely explores that in Delivering Happiness. So at this point, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. Lindsay is going to kind of delve a little deeper into what we both agreed upon were the values that we were able to extract from the book. So take it away, Lindsay.
Just as Terry was saying, there's quite a few values and quite a few different scenarios that happened to Tony Hsieh that helped him really become successful. One of that is definitely his Asian heritage. A lot of the Asian culture is your child needs to be successful, whether that be, in science field, medical fields, math field, anything very, very, or the arts field. They have to be successful. When Tony Hsieh started talking about his adventures as a child, he started a worm farm. He took a risk. It didn't end up working out, but he tried. He was very fortunate to have the backing of one, a wealthy family, and two, a supportive family. Throughout the book, Terry and I kind of spitballed back and forth to discuss what we felt were the key values. The key values that we thought of were risk-taking, respect of employees, loyalty, relationship building. These are all really key when you're trying to start, create, manage a company such as Zappos. When he was in his young 20s, just graduated college, him and one of his old roommates started up Link Exchange. This is very important because this is really the first business as an adult that really took off for him. It's not his worm business, his button business, his printing press business. It's just the first legitimate adult business that took off. He was offered to sell the company for a couple $1 million, and he told us that in the book, it said that he really was kind of conflicted with himself because, one, he was so young, and a couple $1 million is a lot of money to someone who's never seen that much, touched that much, let alone that would have been his. So he decided to decline the offer. But before that, he asked his 25 employees what their opinions were, making it known that he was going to make the final decision on whether to sell or not. But he still took into consideration what his employees felt. The key thing with Link Exchange was the value of relationship building, because he started it with his old roommate. The majority of all his employees were old college friends, people who have helped him along the way, people who have supported him along the way or gave him ideas. He contacted one of his friends who was living in Washington at the time and asked if he wanted a job, and he said no because it was too risky because it had just started. Later on, once the company got that $2 million offer, he decided to start working for them, this making it more of a family-friend bond than hiring strangers off the street. This is one thing that I really respect about Tony. I know a lot of other people really respect about Tony. If more bosses would have that bond of getting to know you, trying to benefit you, I know personally I would have stayed at a few jobs that I've left, in the sense of I felt that I was just another number. And most people who feel like they're not another number, they are unhappy and they decide to leave. We'll get back to Link Exchange in that aspect in just a few minutes. When Tony was going through college, he, started pizza chain, like a pizza restaurant with a buddy. He started, thinking outside the box and how more ways he can make money, always looking at the money. It wasn't until he sold Link Exchange that he focused really on what he wanted. And I think the selling of Link Exchange was really an eye-opener for him, because he even stated he got bored. They went extremely corporate by hiring a lot of people that he did not know. He walked like floor to floor, and he wasn't sure who his employees were or any relationship to anyone who worked there. And this made him very unhappy because this wasn't who he was. He wasn't a giant corporate man. He was a small business owner. He wanted the corporate life, but not the corporate people. And so he ended up leaving a $40 million, offer to stay for a year and settling for 20% of that. This really was a turning point that I viewed. Was he was no longer chasing the money at this point. He was chasing the vision, chasing what he wanted to do. He also left Link Exchange and started a couple different online businesses, online advertisement, online sales, just dabbled in different computer programming for businesses. He offered pro bono services, which means he was really more trying to build relationships with future employees, future businesses to do employment with. He took a lot of risks by leaving Link Exchange and selling Link Exchange, but he also stated during the book that you have to take risks to make money. You have to take risks to be happy, which I definitely agree with and wholeheartedly feel is accurate. He is he's very loyal and not selfish with his money. And again, taking risks when he was approached to start. It was originally shoesite.com, which then turned into Zappos. He was approached and these people were wanting them to invest in their company. And he kind of told them no, but this is the reasons why. Once he fixed the kinks, then he invested in them. Said, yeah, it's risky because it's a shoe industry. And at that point, shoes weren't really the hot product. But he took a risk because he saw the drive that this man had that he had when he was a young child. And now he started and sold all these successful companies and sub-companies that he really saw a younger version of himself in this gentleman. This being said, he definitely values, risk-taking. He values loyal people. He values the vision now instead of the money. He's not flashy with his money. He definitely wanted to make sure that when Zappos got started, it wasn't going to turn into another Link Exchange situation where he was going to be unhappy going to work. I completely respect, I know Terry completely respects the mindset that Tony had, which was to really, put others before himself, put others before his company. Don't look at the money when making deals. Look at what's going to benefit everyone around you. Ultimately, I suggest you reading the book. It's a great, easy read that can really help you with your self-decisions and business decisions in life. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Read the book.